Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat, and today I'm doing another 5 super specific recommendations for you. So this is a series, I will leave previous ones down below, where I talk about specific tropes, elements, themes in books that I personally love, and give you 5 recommendations of books that fall within those categories. So today we are doing isolated weird families. So this could be that the family is weird because of the isolation, or they have isolated themselves because they were previously weird and want to get away from society or people who, view them as abnormal. So it's something that I really love. I just find it so fascinating. So we're gonna kick this off with The Water Cure by Sophie MacIntosh, and apparently I am one of the only ones that loves this book because it was rated 3.25 on Goodreads. So a lot of the things that I really like that are dark or weird don't sit that great with people, and that's totally fine. They love what they love, I love what I love, and if you have the same kind of reading taste as me, that's why I think these recommendation videos could be brilliant. So The Water Cure is following a family who is on an island, and there's like barbed wire all around their house and surrounding land to keep themselves safe because in this world men are very dangerous. So there's a mom and daughters, and the dad is the only man that the daughters have ever known or ever even seen. And it's just super claustrophobic, and it follows like their daily life until one day when men wash up on the shore outside of the barbed wire, and things go from there. So this is set in a dystopian, it is near the water, it's like man as monster, isolated family. However, don't go in for a super strong plot, just go in for vibes. Just slide into it looking for vibes, and you'll probably like it like I did. Alright, next up I want to talk about The Dumb House by John Burnside. This has to be one of the worst parents of all time. I read this before becoming a parent, and since becoming a parent, I'm like, oh my god, this guy deserves to be drawn and quartered. Yeah, but we're following a man who has children for the express purpose of testing out how language forms in absence. So he wants to see if he never speaks to them, what will happen. And then he experiences rage and vitriol when they create a language of their own between themselves without him. And this leads to absolutely devastating consequences. So if you're looking for something that is absolutely 100% fucked up, that has like a terrible parent, but also like really interesting dynamics, then this would be for you. However, I am gonna give it the ultra dark stamp because it does have some really, really dark things. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, because he knows that what he's doing isn't like acceptable by any means in society. Like, you can't just isolate children their whole life. That's not fine. And you just can't not talk to them either. That's definitely abuse. This is absolutely an isolated family situation. And oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, it gets very dark. Alright, next up is one that I've never heard anyone talk about, and this is The Light of the Fireflies by Paul Penn. I believe, who is a Spanish? Is he? Yes, he is. He's a Spanish writer. So this is about a young boy who has lived his whole life underground. And he lives underground in a basement with his parents, grandmother, sister, and brother. Before he was born, his family encountered a huge fire, and his sister wears a white mask to cover her burns that have happened from the fire. So he himself has never seen his own sister's face. So he spends all of his hours in his room reading or his book on insects, and taking care of his cactus, and there's one little sunlight beam that comes through that he tracks throughout the day. However, ever since his sister has had a baby, everyone has been acting really strangely, and the boy is wondering why they never talk about like anything that has happened in the past, like, and there's obviously something that they're keeping from him. And a few days ago, some fireflies arrived in the basement. His grandmother told him that there's no animal that is more amazing than those that create their own light, and the light makes the boy want to escape and discover light for himself outside of the basement. So this one is also very haunting. I remember so well, just like reading that description, what happens and what the twist was. I was shocked. And there were quite a few twists that I had no idea were coming. So this one is a translated gem that I think just, yeah, no one has ever talked about this. I've never heard anyone talk about it, and I really recommend it because obviously the whole family is the whole extended family is isolated in this basement for the majority of the novel, and it's so claustrophobic and is told through the eyes of a young boy who is seeing things with such innocence, but because you're an adult, you're seeing it with such abject horror. So, yeah, very, very interesting one. Next up is one which has made the rounds on BookTube, but I feel like there are people who love it or hate it, and I'm one of the people who really loved it. So this is Follow Me to Ground by Sue Rainsford. This is about a father and a daughter who are different than other people. They have some special, like, unique powers which enable them to heal the people that live in their town. But the people in the town don't want to interact with them because obviously they think that they're super weird. They only come to them when they need help and they need to be healed. So sometimes the healings involve them opening up their bodies to pull stuff out. Sometimes it involves them burying people in ground, hence Follow Me to Ground, the title. And this isolated family, they are isolated more because society wants nothing to do with them, and because in their isolation it enables them to use their powers on their farm. And I think it is really good, and I'm nervous to recommend this one because I know a lot of people don't like it, but again, like, I really, really liked it, and it has stuck with me. It is such like a unique, weird gem, and I really recommend it. All right, and now to the tippy top of this list. This is The Mere Wife by Maria Dahvana Headley. So this is a retelling of Beowulf in a modern setting. And our character that we're following at first is a woman who is a war veteran with severe PTSD, and she became pregnant abroad in a horrific way, and she decides to escape her captors. She escapes in the very beginning, and she decides to go back to her town, her hometown, and when she arrives, like I said, it's the utopia that she doesn't recognize. So she takes her body, swollen with her pregnancy, into the mines, and she gives birth there, and she is raising her son there. So the son is named Gren, and the mother's name is Donna, and Harrot Hall is the name of the utopia. And it is when, as Dylan and Gren grow together, Gren starts to get very curious about the goings-ons in the town, and particularly he likes to watch this house that's completely made of glass where a family with another little boy lives. And yeah, I thought that this was so, so good. Of course, I've read the original Beowulf, translated by Seamus Heaney, and so it really does help you understand the brilliance of this one, but by no means do you have to have read the original to appreciate this story. This story stands alone despite the like the retelling element. The family is isolated in the mines, just the mother and son, and then their isolation is shattered and broken, and the action picks up and you're not sure what's gonna happen. And yeah, I really, 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 really loved this. And I was actually so excited to find out that Maria Dahvana Headley did the modern translation of Beowulf, like the original text. I think she made it more accessible and more down to earth, and her modern translation is absolutely stunning. I'll put the picture here. Yeah, so I'm hoping to read that one day. And yeah, that finishes up my Weird Isolated Families recommendations video. Let me know if you've heard of any of these before. Also, let me know if you're gonna pick any of them up, and also if you have any isolated weird family books that you think I would like, because I'm always on the lookout for more books with the specific tropes that I like. So really this series is just me trying to find more books that I like. Yeah, so without further ado, I will say thank you for watching this video and talk to you in another video soon. Bye bye!